All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel vlog. It's been about 2 weeks or maybe a little more than 2 weeks since I last updated you guys with everything that's going on. So I have a couple of key things to talk about. So let's get right into it. So in the last vlog, I think that I mentioned that my back was having some pretty serious problems. And I also might have mentioned that I was going to see a surgeon. So the surgeon that I met and talked with told me that I now have a herniated disc. And a herniated disc is basically one of the cushioned discs in between your vertebrae has bulged out farther than it should be, and it's contacting one of the nerves that runs down your legs and into your feet. So I've been having a lot of pain in my legs, my back, and all the way down to my feet. So the current plan of attack for all of that, without getting too deep into it, is going to be we are going to move into facet joint injections. And I don't know too much about that. That's basically all I know. And hopefully that's going to do the trick. If it doesn't, we're then going to move into a decompression surgery where they essentially snip off part of the disc, I think. And after that, we move into a more serious surgery, which is called fusion. And I'm not even going to get into that because hopefully we don't have to go that route. So the surgeon that I met with has told me no more running. So I have to completely ex-nay the running project. As much as I wanted to do that and as much challenge and reward as it was, I have to quit that for now. So now that I'm no longer devoting any time to the running project, both the actual running and the editing, I can now devote that time to a different project. And it's going to be the project that I'm actually most excited about. I'm not going to get into that quite yet, but I'm going to start gathering the content and editing everything and hopefully have a video for you guys in the next week or two for the first video of that new project. So I'm really, really excited about that. So onto a little bit more of a positive note, I wanted to just kind of go over some of the things and the thoughts that I've been having about starting all of this YouTube project and the physical transformation project and all these other things that I've been doing that I wasn't doing a few months ago. And so I just basically wanted to tell you guys about it and how I've been feeling because it's all been pretty overwhelmingly positive and I think it's really cool. So I think the most obvious changes that I've noticed so far have been, well, lifestyle and time investment. 3 months ago I was spending all of my free time playing video games, all of it. I spent like 1,400 hours playing a video game in 10 months. It was absolutely ridiculous. Whereas the past 3 months I've played no video games since I finally made the decision to commit to all these projects and these things that I've been doing. So that's a really big impact. They say if you can control your time, you control your life. And so I'm only like 2 months in or 2.5 months in, whatever you'd like to say, but I feel like I have a much stronger grip over my time, what I'm doing, and my life essentially and my existence, which is really cool. And I don't think the power of having my time under control can absolutely not be understated. On top of that, something else that's been really cool that's been happening to me, the past 20 days is I've had coworkers and a couple of friends notice that I'm more tan and I'm a little bit more muscular and I'm a little bit more confident just in these little areas and these little quirks at work or in our free time or whenever I encounter these experiences. And I still don't notice any difference in my physique, or if I do, it's very little. I don't know if that's just me perceiving myself, but other people have started to notice, and that's been really helpful to keep me going in all of this. So that's really cool, it's really helpful, and it feels really good. So another positive thing that I'm really excited for this month is I think by the end of this month, I'm going to have essentially all of my credit card debt paid off. And that is incredibly exciting. I've been battling and dealing with credit card debt for literally 5 years. Literally 5 years at the very least. At the end of this month, I'm finally going to have 95% of my credit card debt paid off. That last 5% is just going to be like $20 a month for 6 months. So it's the least of my worries, and to my mind, I've basically paid off all my credit card debt by the end of this month, and I'm really excited for it. It's a really good feeling, and I see the finish line in sight, so I'm absolutely thrilled. And that leads me to the last thing I wanted to talk about, and it's about my development with all of these projects and all of these things that I'm kind of taking on. Is I'm trying to take on as much as I possibly can. And it really didn't start with much. And also, I didn't have the idea of the YouTube channel when I started all this. I just came home from a trip and wanted to be better. I wanted to be stronger. And the only thing that I could do about that at that time was some pull-ups and some push-ups. It was hardly nothing. I could do 2 or 3 pull-ups at a time, and I could do, 15 push-ups at a time. It was measly and insignificant. And looking at where I am now, especially with my latest physical transformation project, where I was out at a park doing lots of pull-ups and lots of calisthenic and body weight exercises, everything that I'm taking on now is so much more than, my first couple of days of all this. So I'm literally bearing a heavier load because I'm more capable to. It's really cool to see where I was with where I am now. Not that I'm like any, crazy Hulk monster calisthenics pro or anything like that, but I mean, to me, it's a world of difference doing 2 to 3 pull-ups at a time to where I can now do arguably 12. But it's not only about the pull-ups, it's also about all these exercises I'm now able to put into a regimen and a routine, straining my body and my discipline more, which is great. It's just great. I wanted to start this channel with the idea of being a growth channel. I'm not trying to be a life coach or anything like that. I only wanted to improve myself in as many ways as I could see fit that I knew would be good for me, and basically record it and detail it and, again, show the transformative process. Because I do think down the road and 3 years from now or 5 years from now, I could be so much more than I am. Because as far as I'm concerned right now, I am still a nobody, and perhaps I will be that way for a long time. But at least I have my aim correct. At least I am aiming up, and I'm finally aiming in a positive direction. It's really exciting, and I've never felt more sure about anything in my entire life. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching. That is the latest update, and I will see you guys in the next one.